Hello.
Coach, last time we talked earlier this week, you mentioned that the team needed to find some ways to figure things out, motivate themselves. So I guess my question to you, is there anybody on the team, like leaders that you asked specifically to step up for that?
Not just specifically for today, because it's not a singular focus. You know what I mean? When you're talking about motivation, you can't just come out and do it for one particular game. Like we had 13 games left. I think that's how many. And so it has to be in totality. You know what I mean? And so I think, in my opinion, in general, everyone has leadership capabilities, right? So everyone has to burden that, you know what I mean, has to shoulder that burden in terms of leading themselves, you know, and if you're good at that, then bring somebody along. And if you're good at that, then try to lead the team, you know what I mean? And so they're all responsible for that. First looking in the mirror and leading themselves.
Going off that too, we talked a ton about consistency this year, finding that. Especially when you don't practice a lot, like what things do you really try and instill that? Like obviously it's not really going, but like how do you what things do you try to emphasize?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you don't practice a lot. You try to do it mentally. You try to get it done on the film, right? You try to show them over and over and over the same things that we're asking them to do. Both sides, the things that they're doing well to continue to do that, you know what I mean, to find those opportunities, and the things that we're not doing well to try to correct those things. Like I said, a lot of it lies in their hands of being able to actually go out and then do it. Like if I've showed you over and over and over and over this particular action that you are doing individually, so at some point it becomes like, all right, I got to change this, right? And so some of it is dumb, and some of it is, me being like, all right, well, you're not getting it, so I have to go with somebody else who can get it. You know what I mean? But it's hard to do when you just don't have a ton of practice time in terms of being able to practice things over and over, get the reps in that you need to get the reps in to be really good at certain things.
Exactly. And I also want to ask, it's been a minute since you guys played with Fever. Obviously, like Aaliyah has really ascended this year. Is there anything that you think has maybe changed up, or that she's gotten acclimated with more as the season gone on since you guys were?
Probably the physicality, you know what I mean? The physicality, but she's not lacking in that by any means either, you know what I mean? So she came into the league with that too. So I would say that she's probably used to the physicality, maybe used to seeing double teams as well, now that everybody really is doubling that kid, to try to get the ball out of her hands. For us, I think we have to match the physicality. I think that's going to be really important, and limit the places of where she touches the ball. So, if she's touching it 2 feet in the paint all night, it's going to be a long night just because she's just too good. I think she leads the league, right, in field goal percentage. Her BG, I think, is second, which makes sense, right? And so because of that, if we allow her to get deep touches, it'll, we only give her what she does really well.
Just touching on that as well, Indiana ranks first in the league with the points allowed in the game.
Yeah.
How are you to get CP her early touches?
CP has to do early. She has to do early work herself in terms of rim running, sprinting the floor. You know what I mean? And making it a surprise. I think if she keeps the floor spread, we'll be able to give CP touches. I don't worry about in terms of getting her touches. Our guards have to do a better job in terms of our post-entry passing. We weren't great in that the last few games in terms of getting her the ball when she's open. So some of that lies on the guards. But I think if CP can get out and get some early touches in transition, that'll be a good look for her as well.
And then, after basketball, I think.
Yeah, not more, but a lot of it you got to have some heart and play with some pride. It's hard for me because I'm so competitive, and I was so competitive as a player. And so when you watch your team not have a competitive spirit and a competitive nature, to me, that's just hard. And so you have to show up first and foremost. You can't win any game in this league if you're not competitive. And so before we can step out on the floor and actually play and do all this and X's and O's and et cetera, and schemes and this and that, you got to show up with some heart, and you got to be competitive. And so that's what I'm hoping that we show up with tonight.
And you've been with the team now for a couple of games. What have you learned about your teammates so far?
That's a good question, Megan.
Yeah, it's been almost a month that I'm with the team. When I arrived, I knew that the girls were good people, as person. Obviously, I knew CP from before, and she told me a lot of good things about the players. But the hardest thing for me was to find my place in the team and knowing what I can add, when I'm on the court. And I think throughout the game, find my place better, and I know where I can help the team and where I can support them, and just being there with them. I know that we have everything in the locker room to be a successful team, but we still need some time to grow together, and it's not easy to build a championship team. It takes time and it takes failures, and you have to get up and continue, but we have everything in there, and we just need a little bit more time. But yeah, I'm really hopeful for the future. That's cool.
Speaking of championship, so you're able to get your ring travel to the Aces. What was that moment like for you?
It was crazy. I've been seeing this ring for a couple of months now, and I was really excited to get mine. So I haven't seen the girls since the last game of last year, so it was really, really cool going back there. The public is really good public. The fans are here, and it's a lot of good people. They really enjoy basketball, and a lot of them was super happy to see me. So I was happy to see them too. And having this ring is just crazy. It was hard for me to realize that I was actually a champion all this time, because you don't have anything material to look at. So now it's a little bit easier, and I'm really happy.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We'll move to Zoom for one. Edward Garcia, go ahead.
Yeah, my question is for Coach. You mentioned kind of the process and sticking with that more than, moment to moment, but with only 13 games left and the WNBA playoff picture tight as it normally is, how much are you looking at that and giving those players also that, knowledge of, hey, if we want to get to where we want to go and want to be in the best position, especially with a sold out crowd getting home court, how much are you looking at that playoff picture, on a week to week basis?
Yeah, I mean, obviously as a coach you are, right? But it's not anything that we're putting pressure on the players about. Like I said before, I had to look within myself and figure out ways that we can get better and focus on us getting better. I think when you do that, if you pick areas for growth and you actually tackle those areas of growth, everything else will take care of itself. So I mean, you can ask them. We haven't said anything in the recent weeks about anything about playoff pitch or anything like that. It's really just, let's focus on these few things. Let's get better on these few things. And as we do that, everything else will take care of itself. And so that's where we're sticking at right now.
Oh, Haley, I want to ask you, obviously, like we talked not that long about, like, you coming in pro and bounce and stuff. Pod is back. How do you feel like kind of getting that back underneath you and where that's headed?
It's really fun. I think I'm trying to figure out like different outlets to have outside of basketball, because when you're in school, you have class, you have homework, so you flip your time in other ways. So yeah, filming episodes have been fun again. I have some of my teammates coming on pretty soon. I just filmed one with Ryan yesterday, so hers will be out in CP soon. So it's really fun, and also just getting to know the players around the league.
I have one more. Coach of the month, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Ryan Howard was able to present you that award with some heartfelt words.
I have a great group of people that I'm surrounded by. I enjoy coming to work every single day, working with our athletes, working with our staff. We have a great time together, win, lose, or draw. Like, we're the same, right? We may be hard on them in terms of on the court, but we enjoy being around each other. So I understand like something like that doesn't happen just because of me. Like, our staff is amazing, the coaching staff, the support staff, and then the players have to actually go out and execute at a high level for you to be able to win something like that. And so kudos to them for trusting us and what we're, presenting to them to be able to be in that position. So super cool. Ryan, Nas, all of us came in together. So, it was cool to hear Ryan and her words. But I understand that, that's, you know what I mean? That's part of it. That's part of it. And they are a big part of winning something like that. So kudos to them.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Good.